First of all, welcome to the call. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dale Franklin. I do these calls every Monday. One of my associates started calling it Mondays with Dale a while back, and so the title stuck, and so that's what we call it, Mondays with Dale. And what is this call about? This call is about creating a family type atmosphere for our My Daily Choice team. Okay, I want people to feel comfortable coming on this call and learning, keeping informed, keeping up to date, seeing some of the other people on this call and maybe reaching out to them and creating friendships that can not only help your business, but just the fact that you're building a new friendship base. One thing I've noticed about network marketing is everybody that I've met in network marketing, they're grassroots type of people. I mean, just your everyday next door neighbor, people that just want a little bit more out of life and are willing to work hard for it. And because of that, I think we have this unity that goes far beyond just being members of My Daily Choice. So at least that's what the way I feel. So again, I have this meeting to create a family atmosphere. I want it to be a place where through our training, you can train your people and yourself on the best ways to stay in contact, to stay up to date, and basically stay focused on what we're doing here. And again, it's a great way to improve communication. Now, anybody who's listened to me for very long in this business knows that I'm a firm believer that you can't build this business without good quality communication. And that's what I want to talk about next. The first thing for any of you that are new, if you got a piece of paper and a pen, feel free to write down my phone number. It's the +sign 1-802-343-9075. Once again, that's the +sign, then 1-802-343-9075. You can reach me using that to call me. You can use it for WhatsApp. You can use it for Telegram. There's loads of ways to reach out to me. And another way you can reach out to me, of course, is through Facebook. Although today I understand Facebook is crashing, but they'll have it back soon, I'm sure. My Facebook address is facebook.com/DaleFranklin.378. So again, DaleFranklin.378. Feel free to friend me and to reach out to me with any questions you might have. I'm not always going to give you the answers. The way I feel like I'm a teacher. So if you ask me a question, I'm going to teach you how to find the answer rather than just give you the answer. So the next time you need to find something like that, you'll know where to go. So again, my style is not to just give you the answer; it's to teach you how to find it. So along those lines, those are different ways you can reach me. Another thing I want to show you real quick. I want to share my screen, and I want to show you one of the people that's on this call right now. Barb DeZetis has done a fantastic job of creating this website for me. And again, it's DaleFranklin.net. Any of you can get on it anytime you want to. And the reason it was created was, yes, it promotes me, but the bottom line to this is I wanted you guys to have a place where you could go to get as much information as possible for your people on any given day. And so, to start with, the homepage is a work in process, but a process, I guess. But it's got a lot of information here. If you want to know this opportunity blog, we're working on creating that. We're also going to be building a newsletter base as we go. If you want to know a little bit more about me, you can go to Who is Dale, and it'll tell you a little bit more about myself. But the important thing here is connections. Okay, so go on DaleFranklin.net, then click on connections, and it's going to take you here, where basically everything you need to know as far as communications is here. You can subscribe to my mailing list so that when we start doing the newsletters and stuff like that, you'll be able to be on the list for that. We're going to have you have an ability here to connect on both Telegram and WhatsApp. If you're not familiar with the two of these, Telegram is basically the way that our company, My Daily Choice, communicates with us. So you want to be connected with Telegram. Now, if you don't know how to do that, right here is the place you can click on, and it'll take you right to the Telegram application. You can join Telegram, and then you can connect directly with me or anybody else through Telegram. Same thing with WhatsApp. If you, I know the majority of the African market is very well versed in WhatsApp, but if you haven't had it in your haven't used it before, there's a place right here to click. We'll take you right to WhatsApp, and you can install WhatsApp. Again, you can see what we're trying to do. We're trying to make things as easy as possible for you and your team to stay up to date on what's going on. You can follow My Daily Choice on Facebook. So this is the actual, our official My Daily Choice page on Facebook. So if you click on that, you're going to be able to stay up to date on what's going on right from the corporate side. I'm going to skip YouTube for now. I'll be back to it. You can follow me on Facebook. You can join some of our Facebook groups. We have the Win Network, which is basically everyone on the team of Chris Robinson, who is going to be speaking today. So basically it's his whole team. The Win Testimonials, phenomenal place to go if you have people asking you questions about different types of ailments that they think maybe we could help them with, help alleviate some of the symptoms of an ailment. They can go to the Win Testimonials, and there's probably somebody or multiple somebodies in there that are going to be talking about that particular ailment and how it's helped them. So again, great place. People will believe you only so far, but when they go to these testimonials and people tell their story with the emotion that comes out from telling their stories, that makes it even that much stronger, that people will believe that our products are that good and will be willing to try them. Team We is basically the team that includes Chris Bailey. Chris Bailey's team is primarily out of Washington, D.C. and Maryland, but he now lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In other words, this business has allowed him to do one of the things he's always dreamed of, living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So again, reaching his dreams and building in another area, because you can do that with this kind of a business. You can be anywhere you want to be and build. The next thing here is Zoom meetings. We want to make sure you guys knew what was going on a daily basis. So here is everything you need to know as far as you see there, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a meeting basically every day of the week. I think they've now cut Fridays off, but it's basically Mondays through Thursdays and some Saturdays. This is comes on. This is part of Adrian Peters' team. And again, he does these Zoom calls. Some of them are trainings, some of them are opportunity presentations, and it's a great place for you to go to help build your team. And then, of course, you see my Mondays with Dale every Monday at 2 o'clock. Here's some other meetings that we have. This is the Win Network training. Now, again, if you're in Africa, you're going to have to get up fairly early in the morning to watch these. But they are incredible trainings, and if you didn't do it every single week, you ought to try doing it every once in a while. And these are all also once you get on the links for each of these groups through Telegram or WhatsApp, they usually post the videos afterwards, so you'll be able to see them even if you weren't there when they actually happen. Again, this is just to be able to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on, the different trainings we have, so that every day when you get up and if you meet somebody new and they're excited about this business, you want to get them tied into this business, here's a list of places you can go. And as you start building relationships with the people on these, by watching these trainings or going on the WhatsApp or going on Telegram and interacting with people, you're going to create, lifelong friends that are going to be more than willing to help you, more than willing to answer your questions. Many leaders that are going to be willing to help you with three-way calls. Again, this is the place you start. It's good communication. So having said all that, I want to go back to YouTube. Okay, when you click on this YouTube, it's going to take us right to one of my back office spots. And this is where all of the videos, all the interviews, everything that we've done over the past couple of years are right here. There's a vast array, guys. I mean, there's stuff here, and we have stuff done in French subtitles and Russian subtitles, Ukrainian subtitles, Swahili subtitles. I mean, There is trainings. There is trainings on the back office. There's opportunity presentations. There are opportunity presentations in Swahili that we've created. Apollo and I did one and he did a fantastic job on the presentation in Swahili, and then I spoke a little bit. He translated. So there is so much information here. Like I said, product information. So many people that we have interviewed over the last 2 years that bring just so much wealth of information on how they got started. And you get to see after a little while how different personalities, no matter how they are, no matter what background they come from, the potential to build this business has nothing to do with where you're from, your education level, anything like that. It's just on desire. If you really want to build a business like this, it can be done. And again, you watch some of these interviews and you see just a vast array of different types of personalities of people that have succeeded in this business. So let me stop this now. And so that has a lot to do with how you guys can get information and have great communication and have the ability to learn. Also, one of my affiliates, Jody Levanway, on several of these messages, group messages that we do, she puts out a daily schedule of what's going on the following day. So on top of everything else I just told you about, we have her posting and telling you, okay, maybe there's a special corporate meeting coming up. Maybe the monthly meeting by Josh Swagel is coming up, and she's going to post that. Our Super Saturdays that we put on one Saturday every month, that's 90 minutes worth of training. That will be posted. Everything that we do is going to be out there for you to know about and to join if you so desire. So let me get through one more little quick thing here, and then we can get on to the important part of having a great speaker today. So meetings. Again, I want to emphasize really quickly, meetings with me on Monday, meetings with Adrian 4 to 5 days a week. We have the ability to do 3-way calls on Zoom, phone, WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber, you name it. We can do these 3-way calls to help you build your business. We can schedule Zoom calls for singles or for groups. If you want to have a grand opening to your business and you want to invite 20, 30, 40 people to a Zoom call, we can get the leaders that will do the presentations for you. All you have to do is basically invite, and we'll do the work for you. We'll do the heavy lifting. And there are tons of great leaders that do are great at presentations. Again, I mentioned the Super Saturdays. Just want to reemphasize that. The monthly Super Saturdays are 90 minutes long. There's usually 5 speakers. We each speak for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and there's acknowledgments of people that are doing well in the business. It's a great 90 minutes. We keep it there. We don't go over. You get to hear different people training, and because different people are jumping on for 10 or 15 minute spots, it doesn't drone on like listening to me. It's exciting, and you hear a lot of different perspectives on how the business works, and a lot of fantastic trainings. I have never heard anybody that told me that they didn't think they got value out of our Super Saturdays. Then a couple of real quick things. Annual conventions coming up on October 21st through 23rd. It's already been sold out, but we're going to be there. We're going to be posting a lot of stuff about it. The other thing we're doing live streaming. The company is, so you still can purchase live streaming no matter where you are and watch what's going on live. And the great thing about this, the company is going to have a completely separate contest giving away cash and stuff for just the people that are live streaming. So, you have a chance to win, you have a chance to learn, you have a chance to participate in any of the new products that we're going to have, and get some of the same deals that the people that are going to be there are going to get. You're going to be the first to market things. So it's a good thing to do. If you can't make the convention, at least try to do the live streaming. And then last but not least, we also just remind you that we have a leadership mastermind coming up on March 20th, 24th through 26th. We don't know where it is yet. I guess they're going to surprise us on that. But it's, again, this is 3 days of learning from the top leaders in the company. 25K affiliates and above will qualify as long as you reach the qualifications, which basically is doing 500 new BV each month through January, and hitting 25K rank one time. And what are you going to get? You're going to get, if you're in the US, you're going to get $500 towards travel. If you're global, you're going to get $1,000 towards travel. You're going to get hotel rooms and accommodations, and you're going to get 3 full days of incredible training. So again, keep that in mind. It's something to reach for. There's a person on this call that couldn't do this. Okay, you've heard me talk long enough. So I want to introduce our speaker for the day, Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson is the first affiliate in MDC. He was there from the very beginning. He's seen all the challenges. He's seen all the great things that have happened because of them deciding to get started. And he's a super affiliate with the company. He's what else has he been? He's a rancher. He's owned his own trucking company over the years. He owns a construction company now. And the thing that I think I always think of when I think of Chris is he's a strategic thinker and doer. And you know, there are a lot of, I say that together because there are a lot of people that think great things, but they don't follow up. They don't go to the end. They don't get it done. And he thinks about it. He puts things together, and then he focuses on it until he accomplishes his goal. He comes. He's got his nickname is the Cannabis Cowboy. He's to me, he's one of the most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. I've known him for over 10 years. I consider him a great friend and a mentor. So without further ado, Chris, are you on the call?
I'm here, Dale. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Welcome to the call.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Looking forward to this.
Well, you know, we've done this before, and you know, I try to create kind of a give and take, kind of a conversation type, interview type thing. So we keep it low key and just enjoy it. People really like that. Some of the people on this call haven't been on and haven't heard you before. So if we could start by you just giving me a brief history of your journey through network marketing. So for the people who haven't heard you before, we'll kind of know where you're coming from.
Yeah, sure. So, you know, my background, I dropped out of high school when I was 15 years old, went to work for my dad, realized working for dad wasn't all that fun. And as soon as I was old enough, I went and started getting other jobs and different things. And then I started a construction company when I was 19. It was super successful at first, you know, and then I've always known about network marketing. I grew up in a house that was actually my mom does an Amway for, it seems like my whole childhood. And every Wednesday night, there'd be a guy, Dennis, would show up and set up a whiteboard in the living room. And sometimes there'd be one person come over, sometimes there'd be none. Sometimes there'd be 4 or 5. And I just always remember, that just sticks out in my mind. And I always thought my parents were crazy doing this type of business. And it never made a lot of sense to me until I got older and I got introduced to the right company at the right time. What a lot of people don't understand is when people pass on the opportunity or you give them a presentation, it's not that they're not interested in what you're doing. They're not interested in you. They're just not interested right now. And, you know, people always say, what do you say when people tell you no? I believe them. That's what I do. And then they come back around. For example, just this morning, a neighbor that lives 3 houses that way, which where I live is about 2 miles, but that way, reached out to me this morning and said, all right, I'm coming overnight. I want to try your CBD. I've been hearing lots of good things about it. I know you've been doing it for years and I'm ready. And I've talked to her about it, I don't know, 20 times in 5 years or 4 years before she's been out. And it's just finally time. So anyways, I got involved in network marketing, which is actually where I met Dale, was my very first company. You know, I don't have one of those stories that I've been in 15 different companies and tried everything and finally found success in My Daily Choice. Although there's a lot of those types of stories in our company. I joined a company and stayed with my very first company for 7 years, became one of the top earners there. And in 2014, so I got into network marketing in 2007, 2008, stayed with that company clear till 2014. While I was with that company, I met Dale, I met Josh Legel, who's the CEO and founder of My Daily Choice. Chris, Phil, so many other awesome people that are still, like Dale was saying at the first of this, friendships is your network is your net worth. And the more friendships and relationships you can create, I don't care if you're in network marketing, if you're in the construction business like I used to be before now, if you're in the tire business like Dale, every business is the people business. And once you understand that, you understand that it takes people to make anything work, and you treat people accordingly like they're people and not numbers, you're going to see success in whatever business adventure, and especially in network marketing. So anyways, I ended up doing a lot of international stuff there. I launched some stuff in Africa and Asia and Canada and Russia, Ukraine, all sorts of different markets. I learned a ton. And in 2014, the company decided to switch directions and change their product lines into something I wasn't excited about anymore. And I firmly believe if you're not excited about what you're in, you need to find something else. And I just couldn't get excited about the direction that company's going. So Josh and I actually ventured out in the network marketing world. It was Josh's very first company as well. He'd never been in network marketing. He's only ever been in one company, that one, and now he owns My Daily Choice. But anyways, and we searched the globe for a new place for our teams and our friends and our families, and we just couldn't find anything that made a bunch of sense. It seemed like everything was the same old story. And Josh called me one night and he said, I got an idea. He said, I think I'm going to start my own network marketing company. And at first I made fun of him, like, dude, you went from the smartest friend I have to the not so smartest friend I have all in one sentence, but I'll hear you out. And he laid out a vision of exactly, I mean, to the T. And it's crazy to think back to that phone call, because every single thing he said he wanted to achieve that got me excited about this company has been achieved. And now it's all setting new goals and achieving more. He laid out having a compensation plan that pays out more than anybody in the industry. And there's been several months over the last few years that we had 3 or 4 of the top earners in the world in the top 10 of all network marketing earners that month. So our compensation plan works. He laid out a vision of not just having one single product line. We're going to start with sprays. We're going to add from there. And we're going to be an open-ended house of brands. And that right there is what I believe was one of the biggest and smartest decisions Josh ever made. Because if you really think about it, everything has a lifespan, right? I mean, think about what was the hottest thing you got your kids for Christmas 5 years ago. You don't even hear about it anymore, right? I mean, the consumer goods space is always moving and pivoting, and new things are coming out. And that's where network marketing companies fail, is they brand themselves into a certain lane and then they can't get out, which is exactly what happened to myself, Josh, Dale, Phil. I mean, so many people you guys know. And probably happened, if you've ever been in network marketing in the past, it's happened to you. But you don't have to worry about that no more with My Daily Choice. And so, I know this was supposed to be about me, but it's, for me, this company is what's made me. And that's why I always talk about the company, not even the company, the people in it has been what's been the most rewarding part for me. And seeing so many people that hasn't ever had success or won before, they're now winning. So many people, even just having better life skills, even if they're not making a ton of money, they're still gaining value through our products. And, the testimonials on our products, that's always been something big for me, Dale. Is I've done these road shows. We used to do one every weekend. I mean, in 2019, we did like 39 events. And every single event I was always on stage, and I would bring up testimonials of people I'd never seen in my life, didn't know who they were, didn't know their names. I'd get a list of people from the producer of the show. He'd say, these are your testimonials for that. They'd come up and share their stories. And that is what locked me in for life with this company, because knowing that whether people benefit through our compensation plan or not, we can still enhance people's lives through our products. So that right there tells me that this is going to be a very, very long-term dynasties type company, because people love our products. If you have a good customer base in network marketing, you really have something to hold on to. So, but other than that's my network marketing. So other than that, like Dale said, I'm a rancher. I have a couple hundred cows, and I have a horse breeding business as well. None of that is possible without My Daily Choice. I mean, that's what I've always wanted to do, but it takes a ton of money to be, for those of you who don't know, agriculture, if you want to make money in agriculture, you don't already own the farms or the ground, and it didn't come down through generations, you're never going to make any money in agriculture. If you got to pay for ground and tractors and farms, I mean, it's almost impossible. So it's really more of a hobby for me than it is an income producing thing, because I've always wanted to do it. Now I can afford to do it. I have not just the financial worth I'll do it, but I have time and the time frame to do it. So I'm 39 years old, basically retired, living my best life. I literally stepped off a tractor from disking a field and right out here and walked in here, changed my shirt and my hat to get the dust off me to do this call. But it's what I've always wanted to do. And it gives me somewhere for my kids to learn work ethic and responsibility. And it's just an awesome way to raise kids, in my opinion. So that's what I've always wanted. And because of My Daily Choice and network marketing, I'm living that right now. And it's just incredible. And the thing I like, I totally embrace the fact that I've been able to do this with my team and people, but it's even cooler to see other people doing the same thing. Like, I love scrolling Facebook and seeing all the My Daily Choice posts. Some people are buying RVs and just leaving their houses and traveling the world for a year because they don't have to go to work. And there's people that are buying their dream homes or their second or third dream home or their nice cars or whatever it is that excites them. They're hitting those goals. And so everybody on this call can do the exact same thing if you just plug in and give it the time and learn from the best leadership in the network marketing space, which My Daily Choice has. And there's hundreds of very successful, awesome leaders in this company, from our CEO all the way down through corporate and into the field, to help you win and succeed. So that's my little brief history on me and why I'm here.
Thanks, Chris. There's three things I want to bring up from what you said. The first thing, I grew up on a farm too, and the old joke was, how do you become a millionaire in the farm business? Well, you start with 10 million.
Yeah. How do you make a small fortune farm and start out with a large one?
Exactly right. Two things that you talked about that I agree with you 100%. Being a house of brands, just think about since the pandemic started. We have companies that were doing very, very well, but they were pigeonholed into one type of business, and because of the pandemic, they were destroyed. Think of how many companies we know that we're in for travel. I'll use that for an example. We have a travel portal, okay, but it's not the only thing we have. So during the pandemic, when travel was tight, nobody was doing anything. The network marketing companies that were doing just travel, they got killed. A lot of them stopped making payments. Their downlines have gone bankrupt. Here we are. We have a travel portal. Yes, it was off like everybody else, but we had all these other brands to carry us through. And what will happen eventually, travel will start pouring back like it already started. And our travel portal will do very, very well. But we were able to carry ourselves through and carry that company through by being able to be a company with multiple brands. That's one thing I wanted to point out. The other thing is, you said you were talking about the products and doing testimonials. I've been all over the world with this company, and I have listened to testimonials where people were sobbing while they were telling their stories. They were so emotional. And when people see somebody talking about a product that they're using and they get so emotional, they get choked up while they're describing what it did for them, do you think those people that they're listening to that aren't paying attention, aren't going to spread the word or going to give it a try? Of course they are. So again, the fact that we have fantastic products that create an emotional response along with the business model we have, I get excited every time I think about it. Every time I have one of these, I resell myself without even realizing it. Chris, the next thing I'd like to talk about, I want you to tell a story that you've told a few times before, many times before. I want people to see the power of a single prospect in this business. And I would like you, if you don't mind, tell us the story of Cody, Wyoming.
Oh boy, it's been a while since I told this story, but yeah, I mean, the Cody, Wyoming story. All right. So I had been with my very first company for 4 years, maybe going on 5. and I'd hit the second to highest rank in the company, and I could really never get over that threshold to hit the highest rank that they had at the time. And I was flying all over. I was doing events. I was trying to make it happen. I could just never quite break that. And one affiliate I had that come into the business actually out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. He come in and he hit like 10K affiliate, which would be equivalent to 10 or maybe 25K affiliate here. And I called him up, introduced myself, and when we were talking, he says, you know, you're from a small town in Idaho, right? And I says, yeah. He says, well, I'm actually from Cody, Wyoming, which is a smaller town than where I was living at the time. And he says, I'm in Colorado Springs now, but all my family and friends are back in Cody, Wyoming. I'd love to take this business back home to them, but I'm asking you if you'll come do the meeting for me. And he says, I can pack out a whole entire room. I can get the whole town there, and we'll just have a big presentation. So of course I got excited as an upline, go help somebody, you know, maybe this will drive the business into where we're trying to get. And I actually reached out to the owner of the company I was in and asked him to go with me to Cody, Wyoming. When I called him and said, I need help doing a presentation, will you go with me? He said, where at? And I said, Cody, Wyoming. And he says, where is that at? And then about 10 minutes later, he called me back and said, I Googled it, and you're crazy if you think we're putting on a big show there. I said, well, this guy's saying he can fill the room. Let's just go support him. So we get on a plane, we land. As we're landing, it's a massive blizzard and the power's out. We actually wanted to get the plane down. They did get the plane landed. The meeting, we landed at like 5. The meeting was at 7. So we go check into our little hotel room. They come pick us up. They actually were doing this in an elementary school gym. And we get there and there's tables set. There's probably 1,000 cookies in there and drinks. And I mean, they had it set up, big PowerPoint presentation screen in the front of the gym. And as 6:30 rolled around, it's me, that affiliate, the owner of the company. We're standing there talking and nobody's there yet. And he's like, oh, this blizzard probably got held up. There'll be people showing up. Well, everybody's calling and canceling. They're staying home, take care of their home. Anyways, one lady at the right before 7 o'clock shows up, and it was this guy's grandmother. And she shows up, she's probably in her 70s. She's the only one that shows up. 7:30 rolls around. That's it. There's her in there. And so I told Kirk, I says, well, get a cookie. I'm going to do a presentation anyway. And I did a full-blown 40-minute presentation, just like there was 1,000 people in that room. And it was really 4 of us. I go through all the slides, and I figured if nothing else, I'll do another presentation. So I believe, you know, repetition's the key to success. So anytime you can do a live presentation, you should definitely take advantage of that. So I did a full presentation. We leave, the blizzard leaves the next afternoon. We're finally able to fly out of there. And all the way home, I'm getting made fun of about going to Cody, Wyoming for one. We did sign up Grandma. She bought what we would call an all-in pack here. She bought the highest pack we had available. Her products got shipped in. She became an affiliate. So it was actually, and I'm getting teased about it. And I said, well, you know, that's probably the most successful meeting I've ever been to. And he says, how's that? I said, that was 100% closed. Everybody got started that showed up that was a guest. And so I believe, you know, is the glass half full or half empty? A successful trip. Anyways, about 8 months later, nothing really ever came from that. I go to our convention, still trying to break that top rank. And I'll never forget, I was offline for 3 or 4 days during the convention time. I come home and there's a bunch of volume coming from somewhere that I've never seen before. And as I'm looking down through my organization, I'm noticing that there's a whole bunch of Russian names that's come into the business, like Andres and Vladimir's and Vitalis and all these different names. And I didn't know anything about Russia or Ukraine or any Russian speaking part of the world. And so I thought it was kind of interesting. And one gentleman, his name was Andre, he had already hit what would be 10K just in the few days I was at convention. And he'd brought all these people in. I'm like, well, this is interesting. So I called corporate, got his phone number, and I called him. And luckily he spoke English. And I said, where are you at? He says, up in Seattle, Washington. Anyways, I said, you need some help? He says, yeah, I'm actually doing a big presentation for about 400 people in 3 days. Can you be here? I said, absolutely. So I'd just gotten home from being gone for 4 days at a convention, booked a flight, flew up to Seattle, got to meet him. And as I was talking to him, I says, well, how did you even get introduced to the business? He says, well, my day job is I do warranty work for all the West United States for a Chinese company that manufactures hardwood floors. And I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. And he says, and so I was at I went to a job and I had done her floor. I had a 14-hour drive back home. And she said she wanted to give me a tip. And she offered me a 12-pack of beer or this product that you guys sell. And I decided I had to drive, so I didn't want to take the beer, and I took the product. And on my way home, I realized how good the product worked. He says, and this little old lady, she lives in Cody, Wyoming. And I'm going, holy, I just got chills just saying. I mean, I'm going, holy cow. So I'm in Seattle, Washington, and we do this event. And as I'm learning that night, we flew in that blizzard, brought this whole team, and we ended up launching the country of Ukraine off of that meeting. So I always tell people, you never know how successful an event is or how unsuccessful an event was for 6 months to a year, because you just never know what's going to come out of it. But long story short, we did that event I flew to Seattle for, and I hit the top rank that weekend for the first time ever in my 5 or 6 years I was with that company. So I like sharing that story because there was times, right after that event, I thought, man, I'm never going to get it. I actually thought about maybe looking for a different company or quit network marketing altogether, but I didn't. I stayed the course. I still went to convention, and all these things started to happen. So the moral of the story is, don't ever get discouraged on numbers or people. I always tell people all the time, I'd rather fly clear across the world for one right person than I would walk across the street to do a meeting for 10,000 people. Because at the end of the day, it's all about, those relationships, timing, and, and I also believe that you're not going to be rewarded until you're ready to be rewarded. I mean, there's a lot of people that quit, 3 feet before the miracle. There's that little meme I see around the internet of a guy digging with a shovel through a wall of dirt trying to get to the gold. And he's dug, miles in, and he quits digging 3 feet before he gets to that gold and turns around and walks out. So don't ever quit before the miracle, because it will happen when you're ready and you've paid your dues. I promise you that.
Well, thanks, Chris. I mean, every time I hear that story, it fires me up. It gives me chills too, because if you had, even if when you were there in Cody, Wyoming, if you had decided, there's only one woman here and she's the grandmother, she's not going to be interested, and not taking the time to explain it to her, and so that she felt comfortable buying, she would have never had products. She would have never given it to Andre. You would have never had that.
Yeah.
It just shows the value of never prejudging, never taking anything at face value. You just don't know what's going to happen in this business. And we've all had the reverse. We've had people that we've signed up who looked us right in the face and go, oh, man, are you lucky you got me? I'm going to make you a wealthy man, and we never hear from them again. So you never know what's going to happen. So again, I love that story. I think it gives so much weight to our business. And that's just one of many stories. I remember Natalie talking about her trip to Australia and how she was supposed to see hundreds and hundreds of people, only saw like 6 in the whole time.
I was on that trip.
Yeah. And one of those people went on to build and grow all over the Philippines and everything else. So
you just never know.
So next, I asked you, when we talked earlier, I said, I asked you to give me a 15, 20 minutes worth of training, your choice, what you wanted to train on. And because I know you've given vast amounts of trainings over the years, and you always do a fantastic job. So surprise me. What are you going to train my team on today?
So I believe the most important aspect to this business is mindset. If you don't have proper expectations and the proper mindset, you're going to become a statistic of 89 to 90 days in network marketing in a business. And I believe that's the biggest, I mean, if the numbers in our business is the typical lifespan of an affiliate, not just in our company, the $200 billion industry of home-based business is around 89 days. And the reason for that is because a lot of people, one, join with the wrong expectations, or they're sold the wrong expectations upon joining the network marketing profession. And if people are set up with the proper expectations and can develop the appropriate mindset, that's the difference between the 6-figure a month people and the people that make it 89 days, is all expectations and mindset. And yeah, there's stories, and we have them in our company. I have several friends actually that got in the business. They never had success before, and within 3 or 4 months, they're quitting their jobs. They're making $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month. But those are rare. Does it happen? Yes, but it doesn't happen for the majority of people in network marketing. And I believe the reason why people are only good, that 89-day statistic, is because of what we're taught from the time we're born. And go back, I mean, it doesn't matter what market you're in, whether you're in Africa or Asia or North America, South America, it does not matter. We're taught from the time we're old enough to learn things that we're supposed to go to school, get an education, which is a great idea. No matter, even if you're in network marketing, education is a good thing. Get educated, find a decent job that you work at for 40 years, 40 hours a week, and then you retire on 40% of whatever income you were making before that you couldn't live on. It's called the 40-40-40 plan. Work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and when you retire at 65 or 75, you're going to have 40% of the income that you couldn't live on for the last 40 years. And that 40-year mark that's kind of short. A lot of people are working 50, 60 years of their lives, not 40. And so when we get our first job, say you make 20 bucks an hour, you clock in the morning, you're making 20 bucks an hour for 8 hours a day, maybe 10 hours a day. You clock out, you're done getting paid, you get paid on Friday. That's what we're taught to do. Yes or yes? Everybody agree with me? That's what we're taught to do. At least 99.9% of us are taught to do that. So you go to work on Monday, you get paid on Friday. You go to work on Monday, you get paid on Friday. Let me ask you a question. If you went to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and payday was Friday, and you didn't get paid, would you go back to work on Monday if your boss came out and said, "Oh, I'm not paying you this week"? Would you go back to work on Monday? And if you had a relationship with the boss, maybe, if they're family, maybe. Let me ask you, if it happened 2 or 3 or 4 times in a row, would you go back to work on Monday? No. And that's why so many, that's why we're taught, that's why we're trained. That's the way the human race has been educated forever. And that's why people don't make it in network marketing, because we're trained, go to work, get a check, go to work, get a check, go to work, get a check. That's trading time for money. That's called linear income. So if you trade time for money, that's linear. The problem with linear income is our bills aren't based upon how many hours a day we work, are they? They come on your house payment comes on the 15th of every month. Your car payment comes on the 20th of every month. Your insurance comes on the 10th, and it's the same amount month after month, year after. That's called residual. So we're trying to pay residual bills on a linear income, which is the reason why 80% of the population is not prepared for a $400 emergency. That's a stat. Over half the people in the world are 1 paycheck away from bankruptcy. You get sick for 2 weeks and you don't have vacation time and can't go to work. Statistics say you're more likely to not recover from that than you are financially, because over half of the people in the world are living paycheck to paycheck, more like 70%. So network marketing and home-based business is designed differently. It works, it's a residual income. So now if you have, let's say you have $4,000 a month worth of bills that come residually, your power bill, your phone bill, your everything. As soon as you make $4,001 residually, meaning whether you go to work or not, that $4,001 is coming in, you're now in the top 5% of people in the world when it comes to financial security. You're considered wealthy. And people don't understand this whole, the aspect of what it takes to make it work. Going to work and trading time for money, the statistics say you're never going to become wealthy. The top 1% become a CEO of something, and yes, they become wealthy. But working for somebody else, see, and as an employer, I have between 20 and 40 employees all the time. I can tell you this, and you get paid at your job just enough money that you'll stay, but they never pay you enough you can afford to leave. Think about that. It's what employers do. That's the way it's set up. And it's not that I don't want to pay my guys more, but when I'm bidding a home, I'm bidding against 30 other people, and I got to be in the realm of things. And then I got to make sure my overhead and payroll matches that, and that's all I can pay. Network marketing is different. And this is why the statistic is 80 to 90 days of a lifespan of an affiliate in network marketing. Because we're taught, go to work, get a check, go to work, get a check, go to work, get a check. For 40 years of our life, we'll put 40 years of our lives into doing that and not be upset about it. But people will spend 2 or 3 months in network marketing and make only a few $100s and go, this doesn't work, I'm out. When in reality, they're building that residual aspect of their wealth. If you said, Chris, do you want $300 a month for life or a $10,000 in cash put in your hand? I'm going to take $300 a month for life because it's residual. It's more powerful. If you do the math, you make more money if you live past, 30, 40 years old. So network marketing's a little different. It's not go to work, go to get a check, go to work, get a check. It's work, 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 check. Work, 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 check. Work, work, check. Work, check. Then if you can get to that point with the proper mindset, you get to where it's check, check, work. Check, work. Check, 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 work. Check, 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 check. But you got to get past that 80 to 90 day statistic to get to that point. Very, very, very few, less than 0.5% that join this business achieve it in 80 to 90 days. But everybody that achieves it, they'll put in 2 to 4 years. So let me ask you, would you rather put in 2 to 4 years of making minimal money with maximum effort to be done for life, or just be in that little comfortable box that the world lives in and trade your time for money for 40 to 50 years? If you're understanding what I'm talking about, there's no way you would ever quit this business. If you understand this principle of wealth, you can go create as much as you want, as much as you ever dreamed of. But you have to get the right mindset. You have to be of the mindset, people are going to tell you no. People are going to laugh at you. You know, it always blows my mind. I don't post a lot on Facebook, but I get on Facebook a ton so I can keep up with what teams are doing. Who's winning, who's not, different things. And it always blows my mind. Somebody will post on there, I got a new job, and they'll have 350 comments of congratulations, well done, awesome, good for you, life's getting better. And the last job they quit, they went to this one for $1 an hour more. That's $160 a month, and they're getting, everybody on their wall is telling them congratulations, what an achievement, well done. But somebody else will post, I started my own business, and everybody wants to laugh at them. And it's because the people laughing are not educated on wealth principles, right? But if you can grasp what I'm talking about, and then knowing that it's going to take a little time and effort to set you up for life, and not just you can set up generations for life. You guys got to understand, if you spend your whole life building this business to get to $10,000 a month, let's say it takes you 10 years. Is it worth it for you? Yeah, because most people on this call ain't making 10 grand a month at work. However, when you pass on, that's a residual check. You still have a customer base. It could grow, it could dwindle, it could triple in size. That goes to whoever you will it to. My kids are all set up to inherit my MDC position. And I know that I did something different that wasn't done for me. And it wasn't my mom and dad's fault. They didn't leave me anything. They just didn't understand what we're talking about right now. But now everybody on this call knows what I'm talking about. You were here. So now it's up to you to decide if this is something you're going to do for yourself and your family and the people that live in your house that depend on you to do something different, to do something extraordinary. You understand the difference between extraordinary and ordinary is just a little extra. That's why it's called extraordinary, just a little bit extra, something different. Instead of going home at 5 o'clock when you get off of work, spend 2 hours a night building your future in My Daily Choice. That's that little extra. Instead of watching 3 TV shows a night, watch one, spend a couple extra hours working on your business, personal development, whatever it is you're doing, and making a difference that not only will impact you, but will impact your family, people around you, and the people you love and care about the most, and help them see the same thing that you're learning through this home-based business adventure in network marketing. And really, for me, and I'm saying this is probably the most uneducated person on this call when it comes to world standards, being educated within the system. The education I've gotten out of being involved in this industry is worth more money than all the millions of dollars that I've earned in commissions through network marketing. The relationships that I've got through network marketing is worth more than any commission check I've ever gotten. So if you put everything into perspective, set goals, plan to achieve those goals, and hit goals, and then set new ones, you're in the right place. You're going to do things that you never thought would be possible in your wildest dreams. No, it still blows my mind. I run into people all the time that I knew back in my teenage years, or even when I was early 20s, or I grew up with, and I haven't seen them for a while, and then they see a Facebook post of me on stage doing something, they're just blown away that a kid that was a rebel, that partied way too much, that dropped out of high school at 15 years old and was headed for the gutter, was able to do and be where I'm at. But I never could have done it by myself, and that's where network marketing has its power. I got surrounded with a team of people that were successful and positive people that wanted to be successful. I was coachable, I learned, and more importantly, once I figured it out, I didn't keep the information for myself. That's the other thing that really sets network marketing apart. In traditional corporate world, your boss is not going to spend 3 hours a day with you to make you better than they are at their job. Why? Because you'll take their job. This business structure and model is the most powerful in the world because of that principle. Our jobs as leadership, Dale, myself, everybody on this call with the team, your job is to make people better than you at this business and more successful than you at this business. And you'll automatically be as successful as you ever dreamed of by helping people win. If corporate structure would learn this thing and pay accordingly, it would be so incredible of what could happen. And it could be a huge swing to curb poverty by just teaching people all the skills they need to be great. To if your mentor was paid more money to teach you to be better than them, you would be successful, period, as long as you're coachable and willing to put in the time. That is called check matching, which is the 4th way we get paid in My Daily Choice. We get paid to help every one of you make as big a checks as possible. Compensation drives behavior. It's just the way the world works and humanity works. And because of those principles, if you really plug in, get dedicated, and get serious and build a business, not a hobby, you're going to achieve financial wealth higher than you ever and bigger than you ever thought was possible through My Daily Choice, or really any good network marketing company for that matter. But you have to put in the time, you have to pay your dues. You have to work those weeks where you don't get paid and still come back with hunger and a fire in your belly to do more. That's the difference that sets up those that win and those that become a statistic of 89 days. And with all the calls, Dale does this call every week. Adrian's doing calls every day. Chris Bailey's doing 3 or 4 a week. I do a couple a week. Plug in, stay close to the fire, which will keep your mindset right. And if you can keep your mindset right and stay positive and not believe the negativity, you're going to win. And I know we're about out of time, but before I leave, I got to talk about negativity. And I'm just going to say it like this. I'll just say it how it is and how I've always viewed it. And this is what's got me over not quitting when people I loved and respected the most told me how foolish I was for doing network marketing. Because when people tell you no and you buy it, you buy their opinion, you're buying their lifestyle. For example, Dale Franklin on this call. I don't know how many millions, I'm sure it's several, he's made in the tire industry, become very successful and wealthy. I guarantee you, if I'd called Dale and we didn't know each other in the past and talked to him about network marketing because he's a successful person, I may have got a no if he wasn't interested, but I would not have got a negative response. He never would have judged me and looked down on me and told me I was dumb for doing it. And successful people won't do that. Most of them won't. So look around at the people that you've talked to and they said no. They're probably all at work right now. Is that really the lifestyle you want the rest of your life? No, it's not. The lifestyle you want the rest of your life is time freedom, is financial freedom, and the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want to do it. That's really the goal of life, is it not? That's the secret of life, being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want to do it. And that's exactly what you're going to get with My Daily Choice. If you plant your flag, if you're on the fence about taking action, if you've been in the business, there's people who's been in this business for 5 years and they're still on the fence about building it. You either got to get on the horse or get off the horse. You're going to get left in the dust. You can't be halfway on the saddle, rancher terms. So plant your flag, commit, and decide that today's your day. Every successful person, whether they're in network marketing or the CEO of Apple, they'll tell you they can remember the day, the moment, and where they were at when they actually decided, I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of not being able to afford the pants I want for my kids. I'm sick and tired of not being able to afford groceries. I'm sick and tired of hitting the check stand and having to put groceries back because I missed something. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you make that decision, you're serious that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and put action behind that and a plan, nothing can stop you. But you got to make that decision. As we close, I'll share the decision for me in My Daily Choice. This is when I decided I'd had enough. I'd had a successful construction company. The recession hit. It's 2013, going into 14. My boats are on repo trucks. My 3 pickups in my garage are after them too. My home's in foreclosure. My property's in foreclosure. I have 79 rental properties and they're calling notes due every single day on one of them somewhere. Lost $4 million in 1 quarter at 28 years old, pushing 30. I had no idea what to do. I lost everything. Josh decides to start My Daily Choice. I'm in a rental home. I can barely afford the rent at $600 a month. I seen a picture on Facebook the other day, Dad. Josh sent it to me. And we were doing a Zoom, like the third, or it wasn't even a Zoom. It was called a Hangout, I think, a Google Hangout, I think is what it was. And we're doing a training and I'm looking behind me and I'm in a room of concrete that's not even drywalled on the walls, building my business, trying to get this thing started. But back to the story. We have a team in Florida start to take off. It's $800 for airline tickets. I take my rent money, buy an airline ticket, fly to Florida, do an event with Josh. Josh flew out with me, do an event. I literally come home, spent every last dime I had to get home. Matter of fact, I think I only ate once a day because I was on that tight of a budget. And I was serious about My Daily Choice, and I knew it was a good opportunity, but I still had that belief factor that this startup company could falter or waver, and I'm putting all this time and effort in for nothing. I get to Florida, I get home from Florida, like 40 people come to an event. I get home, it's 9 o'clock at night. I walk in the house and my wife says, "How was Florida?" I said, it was good. I think we got a shot getting a big team there, lots of great people. And I'm telling her, I'm over embellishing a little bit, as us husbands like to do, to make our wives think that we're not as piss poor as we really had been that few days. And she's like, good. And then she opens the cupboards and she says, well, what do you want to feed the kids tonight? And there was nothing there. And I went and got money from the next door neighbor who was a farmer. And I said, what do you need done? He said, I need a mile of fence built. I said, if you'll give me $100 tonight, I'll start in the morning, paying the rest when we're done. I went to town, got food. That was the night I decided this is never, ever, 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 ever going to happen to Chris Robinson again. Never going to happen to me again. It's never happened to my wife. It's never happened to my kids. It's never happened to my grandkids or my great grandkids for that matter. It's not going to happen. And that was the day I sold out and I went all in. And I hope you don't have to have a rock bottom that deep for you to sell out and go all in. But if that's required, I hope it happens sooner than later so that you'll do something different and go make a big impact with what you have your hands on with this opportunity. So I'll leave you with that, Dale. And thanks everybody for spending the time with us today. Dale, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you, man. Looking forward to seeing you here. Well, we got like 2.5 weeks or so. We'll be down in Vegas. It's going to be good. I'm excited.
Exactly. I can't wait to see you again in person. Hey, number one, thank you so much for being on this call. I know that people got a great deal out of this. One quick thing before we close. You talked about the 89 days. And I actually had somebody this week text me and say, Dale, we like your Mondays with Dale, but you always, in the first 20 minutes of the meeting, you say the same stuff over and over again, and it's a little dull. And they're right. They're right. But the thing you have to remember is every time we get on one of these calls, there may be somebody that's on this call for the very first time. And we want to overcome that 89 days. So what I do in those first 20 minutes is to give you all the tools that they need so they can build urgently, they can make money quickly, and they can see the value of what we do. And once you get them through that and they see what we're doing works, that 89 days will immediately go to 6 months or 9 months or a year that they're willing to give this business. So what I do here, I realize that first 20 minutes of the meeting every week is the same old, but I'm doing it for a reason. And I will always do it because that is what gives everyone the ability to know how to do this business, how to build it, where to go, where to get the communication from, where to get the training from, where to get everything from. So again, everything I do is to change that 89 days into, a lot longer.
Let me just add on to that, Dale, because repetition is the master of success. Repetition is what makes people successful. For example, I also get to coach football. I coach 7th and 8th graders, the middle school kids. We have, bar none, I live in a little tiny town. It's a two-way school. For those of you who don't know what that means, schools are ranked 1 through 5A, especially in America. Size, so 1A small, 2A's small, 3, then you get up into 5A, which is thousands of kids. And our 2A school is ranked 5th in the state of Idaho amongst every high school, our football program. We're working on our 6th state title in 10 years this year right now. That'll be the 3rd one in a row. And everybody knows that Westside has the most successful football program probably in the Western United States. And it's a little two-way school. For example, our seniors right now, they've been playing together for 3 years in high school. They've lost 2 games. They just won their 29th game in a row. Set an Idaho State record Thursday night winning that game. Anyways, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because the kids we're teaching right now, the 7th graders and 8th graders that play clear till they're in 12th grade, they're learning our middle school and high school run the exact same plays. We have about 30 plays. The high school runs them, the freshman team runs them, the 8th graders, the 7th graders, and even the 6th graders run them. So they've run the same plays for 7 years before they're seniors. Everybody we play knows the plays, but they're executed perfectly so nobody can beat them. Practice for kids is boring. Trust me, they hate it. But we have the most elite program because they've done the same thing over and over and over again until they perfected it to get results. And so Dale, by doing what you're doing, is exactly saying amen to that is if you're bored on a call, find one thing that makes sense to you and run with it and perfect it. Because at the end of the day, it's a very simple business. All we do is share with people what awesome products we have, what awesome opportunity we have, and let them decide if they want to become a customer or an affiliate or nothing. That's all we do. It's really that simple. We share information and let people make a decision. That's it. If you do anything more than that, you're overcomplicating this business. Trust me. I dropped out of high school sophomore. I'm not educated, and I was able to become in the top 1% of the world in this industry because I kept it simple. And that's what you got to do. You got to keep it simple, share the information, and let people decide for themselves. So keep doing your repetition, Dale, because that matters.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Guys, we've put you over a little bit this week. Thank you for hanging in there. Remember, the best way to build this business is to bring as many guests on to calls like this every week so they can see the value in what we're doing. You got to create value. You got to create value, and you will be successful. So I look forward to seeing you all next Monday. Chris, thanks again for doing this today. Great job. And
Absolutely.
And thanks for the great turnout with everybody. Have a great week. Remember, you can reach out to me anytime, and I'll be glad to help you. And let's build this thing so that everyone here can change their lives and change the lives of every one of their loved ones at the same time.
Get your live stream tickets. Get your live stream tickets.
Absolutely. Live stream tickets are going to be so important. And you maybe have a chance to win a lot of money during those.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you're going to get incredible amount of knowledge, and you'll know what's going on with our company. So having said all that, thanks again for all being here. Have a great week. Remember, I love every one of you.